Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So let's continue with our graph here. So let's add a few things that make this look more like a graph, and that includes some text and some points over here. So let me reduce the visual size of this for a second. So I want to go to the SVG. Instead of 100%, let's try 75%. so we can see it a little better. Okay, so what I want to do now is add some circles here. So what I'll do is, so there's a point here at which we are making the points for this one right here. These points, this is the actual graph. So I want these same points that are here, but each one should have a circle on it. So what I'll do is, let me go to where I created those points from, which is right here. Okay. Oopsie. So what I want to do is save those coordinates for the circles. So this is a loop here, so I can have there are two ways we can do this. We can create a string here, but the only difference is that we'll need a single circle for each of those points and then put an X and a Y. So we need to create a loop here, but we want to use exactly these calculations right here. So one way we could do it, let's see here, data value multiplier num. We could simply repeat this here to save time, I guess. Let me paste this here. Let's put some PHP tags. Right, so we just copy exactly what we had there, and we have points here. Now, instead of putting points like this, we're going to put an actual circle. So here I will do this. Let's do circle and close it properly. But this is inside PHP tags, so let's see. What I can do is I can say echo like that. So another way is you can, the way we've been doing it here is you can close the PHP tags, though this may look a little bit confusing sometimes, and then open them again here like that, so that what you have here is pure HTML. And then you can put your content. So we have the X, center X, and then we have the center Y, and then we need the radius like that, and then we can add a fill and a stroke, but I'll use a style for those two. So I'll say fill. I want to fill this one with a gray color, and I want to stroke it with white, and then I want to add a stroke width maybe of 4. Then we can make adjustments over time. So the only thing I need to put now is the X and the Y. The radius, maybe let's try 4. And then let's put the points. So points here represents the X and the Y. So this is the X over here. So I'm just going to copy that and put PHP tags here, equal sign, close that, so that it can echo this. And over here we want it to echo that, like that, and close that up. Okay, so we don't need this points thing here, it's just a placeholder. All right, so let's see what that gives us. And as you can see, there are points over there, but they're too small. So let's increase that radius a little bit. Let's go to 8. so that it's twice the size. Okay, so something like this. Yeah, maybe I can reduce the stroke width to 2. Let's see here. Okay, much better. So there we go. At least now it looks kind of like a graph. So we have a few problems here now that we've done this. First of all, we don't have place to add text. Now to add text is very simple as well. Let me show you that very quickly here. So after this, like I said, whatever you add after is always on top. So these circles are on top of the polyline. So here, if I want to add some text, it's very simple. You just do text like this and close that, and you say some text. But of course, you need to give it coordinates as usual. So you need to supply the x and the y, and it's that simple. So x, let's try 100 and 100, and then we can add more styles, of course. For example, the fill can be red, that will be the text color, and then you can even change the font size if you want, let's say 30 pixels. Okay, so let's see what we get there, and there we go. So some text, and it's selectable like this. You can even put a link on these text items, no problem. You can do that by just putting a normal A tag like this. And let me move this one over there. And now if I hover on the text, you will notice that it's the hand comes upon because it's now a link. And if I click, it refreshes the page. So this is the beauty of SVG. It's like an image that is active because you can actually put links even on these. You can put links on anything. Most of the stuff you can do in HTML, you can do with these elements as well because they're active. You can change the color when I hover on this thing. That is also possible. But now what we want is we want to add some text down here because we have January, February, and so on down here, and then we need to add some numbers on the other side. Now we can add the numbers over here, no problem, but it gets a little bit complex. So let's start with what's simpler. Let's add the numbers over here because it's easy to extend. So all we want to do now is to give more space on this side. So all I need to do is give the canvas itself more space on this side and more space down here, and then we will be home and dry. So let's see how we can go about doing that. Now here we have the canvas X and canvas Y in the view box. So if I increase the view box without changing any of these things down here, then of course the view box will enlarge. Now I just don't want to use an arbitrary number to extend my view box. I want to use, actually you could use a static number. It's actually possible, or could be better than using a percentage. Yeah, I actually think so. Okay, so what we need to do is just add to the canvas. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to say I don't know what we'll call it, extra X, I don't know, extra segment X. That's entirely up to you. So you can choose a value here. How many pixels do you want to extend this by? Let's try 50 pixels. Let's try the extension Y and add 50 pixels. So here all I need to do is add those two. So plus extra X here and extra Y over there, so that at least we have space to add some content, some numbers. Okay, so as you can see now, there's extra space there and extra space over here. Okay, so we have an extra line here from these that goes to the end there. So I'm sure there's also an extra one here, but I think this is enough space at the bottom, maybe not enough on the x-axis. So on the x, let's try 100, like so. Let's see that in action. Okay, so at least we have enough to put numbers over here, and then here we need to get rid of the extra line down here. So these are the lines that go left to right. Wait, these are the lines that go, yes, left to right. But before we do that, you see this one right here at the top is going over into oblivion there. So we might want to move the whole thing down. So let's see here, maybe let's try and use this. This is X, this is Y, right? Let's try and use 100 down here. Let's see what that does for the viewport. Okay. Aha. So as you can see, you can now move the viewport around in that manner. Oh, wait, look at that. So many lines down here. It's incredible. So let's try a negative number down here. So this is a viewport, what visible space we have. So let me, okay, so there we go. So that moved it, but way too far. Let's try 50. So instead we'll get this extra Y so that we can maybe not. Let's see here. Let's just use a number that we can work with.